Hey everybody, welcome to the MMA Heat podcast. I'm Karyn Bryant.
And I'm Pete Cummins.
And it's podcast number 51. Today we are going to talk about what happened at UFC Florida with Lyoto Machida and Yoel Romero. Of course, we will talk about Yoel Romero's post-fight speech, which got some people pretty hot. We'll also talk about some of the other fights on the card. There was also a big knockout over in Bellator on Friday night. And we'll talk about the rib injury that Jose Aldo suffered. We'll hear from Rashad Evans on just how painful a rib injury can be and stuff for a fighter. So a lot to cover, and we've also got, of course, round five.
Round five, I've been playing with a little whiteboard animation, and it's sort of an apology to my children for maybe my behavior this week upon hearing that the Aldo McGregor fight might not happen. Yeah, I might not have been the best father.
Okay, I hear you. Okay, so how was your weekend? I went and I saw Jurassic World last night. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
It's fun. Like, for anybody, you know, and Pete, maybe we should get into doing movie reviews. This is something, if you guys think Pete and I should do movie reviews or television reviews, so I think we should. Are you an X-Files fan?
No, not really.
Dang it! Because I'm thinking when the X-Files comes back on, we could do sort of instant react videos after that and put it out. I'm down. I can't wait. Anyway, Pete, if you guys would watch me and Pete talking about movies as well as fight stuff, let us know. Anyway, Jurassic World is fun. It is what you think it's going to be. It's like a silly popcorn movie. There's a couple of cheeseball scenes. There's a dinosaur death scene that I was like, come on!
Do you feel bad for the dinosaur?
No. I mean, they want you to.
Are you supposed to feel bad for the dinosaur?
And so it's this
Is it a baby
really
dinosaur?
Treacly, no. But it's this like whole treacly, and the dinosaur's like, oh.
So you feel bad for an adult dinosaur dying?
No, I don't.
Even though that, like throughout history, they're all going to die.
I don't feel bad. Anyway, you guys, if you've seen the movie, you know what scene I'm talking about. Anyway, okay, round one has started. So, Pete.
Was it a brontosaurus? Because that.
I think it was.
That is
I think it was a brontosaurus. Or was it?
T-Rexes can go screw themselves.
Podosaurus. Anyway, so. The main event of UFC Florida the other night saw number 6. Going into this fight, Yoel Romero was ranked number 6. Lyoto the Dragon Machida was ranked number 4. And this was a fast turnaround for Lyoto. As we know, he lost to Luke Rockhold in April, so it was basically like a 9-week turnaround for him to fight Yoel Romero. He had also had hand surgery after that fight, but he felt good about it. He said he had a 6-week camp for Yoel.
He had hand surgery in between the fights?
Yeah. So he fights Rockhold, has hand surgery, trains for Romero, and fights Romero.
How quick was the hand surgery? Because
he said he was out just a couple of weeks for that.
Really?
Yeah, but he could still do all this other. Because Lyoto, bless his heart, is not one of those guys that's like, well, I'm between fights and like packs on the pounds. Like he's fit all the time. So in that respect, it didn't bother him. He's usually had good luck against wrestlers. What he did to Henderson, C.P. Dalloway, Ryan Bader. So he felt comfortable taking this fight. But of course, a wrestler is different from Yoel Romero, the wrestler, the Olympic silver medalist. So
here's the amazing thing, though. He was a silver medalist.
Yeah.
15 years ago. He's 38 years old.
I know, he's 38.
I mean, can you imagine if right after the 2000 Olympics he got into mixed martial arts?
It's a shame he didn't. It's a shame he didn't. So, Lyoto won round 1. Yoel, I think, won round 2. He started heating up a little and tagging because, it takes a lot of timing to get down how to hit Lyoto. But in round 3, he turned it up. And the interesting thing, so now Yoel Romero now has 3 third-round knockouts. See, this is what's a weird thing. It's his 4th KO or TKO that has come in the 3rd round of a fight. This is the second most person who's ever done that behind Randy Couture, who's done that 5 times. So at 1 minute 38 seconds, he gets it done. I mean, good for you. I felt bad. Such a Machida fan. I didn't like seeing that. I felt bad for him. Like his nose got all busted up and.
Where does he go from here? Because he's lost 3 out of his last 4 fights.
Yeah, Lyoto's 3-3 at middleweight. I want him to just take some time off. In hindsight, it looks like it was too soon to fight.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, now that I find out that there was a hand surgery
Yeah. It looks like it was too soon. Lyoto, I still think, beats a lot of people. It's just the problem is now the blueprint is out there. Take him down, smash him.
Right.
If you can get him, take him down, smash him, win.
I mean, if you were a champion and you've now gotten to a level where you beat a lot of people, but 3 out of your last 4 fights against top opponents, you haven't been beaten. I mean, his chance of becoming champion again is probably not.
He's 37. So do you want him to retire?
I think he should. Not that he's not a great fighter, but I don't think he's going to hit the level that he was at before. And listen, he's a former champ, so he wants to be champ. But he's lost 3 out of 4.
I say if he wants to retire, not a bad idea. He's proven himself.
Right.
He's amazing. He's legendary Hall of Famer. Give him a good fight down in Brazil. Let him go out, in front of his own people if he wants to stop. I don't know. Ed Suarez, his manager, posted on Facebook that Lyoto had surgery after the fight and is fine. So I'm assuming it was on his nose because his nose was pretty busted
Not his face.
up. I know. Well, that was the thing. He smashed don't break something pretty, Yoel. Come on, let it go.
Did you like his hip shakes?
Always.
In there?
Always. That's what I'm saying.
I was mesmerized.
I'm a
hip shakes.
Machida fan. No, you know what it is? Yes. Okay, fine. He's a handsome guy, but he's a gentleman. He always conducts himself in a very just honorable way. Do you know what I mean? And he's just one of the good guys. Like when you're around, Lyoto's a good guy.
Yeah, and listen,
true martial artist.
I don't mean to imply that he doesn't have the skills anymore.
Right.
I just don't think that he can become champ anymore. He can stay in the top 10, but once you're champ, do you want to just be fighting for a paycheck now?
Yeah,
and
diminishing returns in terms of career options.
And I just want to keep the face.
Keep the face
I just
pretty.
want to keep the
he
face
did make
pretty.
$200,000 for his salary, so he made the most. So just straight up, he just here's thanks for showing up, $200,000, and then gets other
All right,
kind
you
of.
know what? Screw what I said.
Slow your roll. I'm just saying he's got a couple of kids.
Put the yoke on and keep making that payday.
But anyway, people were saying, down in Brazil, I guess he's got a karate school that does well. I mean, look, Lyoto doesn't have to fight anymore. The dude can make whatever, being Mr. Seminar guy, Mr. Whatever. I mean, he could probably go to Brazil and do a TV show on Kambachi or something like that. So that was tough to see, though, because I like Lyoto. I don't dislike Yoel, but Lyoto's one of those guys that's the thing. We're in round 1. We're going to talk about Romero's post-fight speech in round 2. The thing with Lyoto, some of these other guys, they've been around a while. It's just hard to see some of them start to go down the other side of the hill. It sucks.
Well, and that's what makes this such a tough sport. I mean, if you see a baseball player who's not at what he used to be, he's not getting, I mean, he's not in physical harm.
Right.
You're just like, well, maybe, shift him to DH, and maybe we can get a few more years out of him, and then.
The funny thing about baseball, it's funny you said, I was at work the other day, and they're cold because let's say Eddie Gordon, lost 3 in a row after winning the Ultimate Fighter. Poor guy, finally gets his nutrition in order, but has lost 3 in a row, so he may get cut, right? But at least you kind of know, okay, backstage maybe the pink slip's coming. Literally the other day, the guys were calling the baseball game, and they're like, so-and-so, and after this game, Pete Cummins sent down to AAA, literally, you don't even hit the dugout after the game. Your ass is gone. AAA. That's just harsh.
Listen, I will say that
round 2.
These guys had the friendliest stare down ever. I mean, they were like, oh, no, okay, all right, see you there.
But meanwhile, Yoel Romero, we were joking, if there was a lineup of the winning streaks in the UFC, and so there's Weidman there, and there's Yoel Romero, because he was tied for second place with a bunch of people, but now he's there. But we were like, if there was a lineup and you saw him, you're like, oh no, he did it. Do you know what I mean? He had that look in one of these pictures that he looks like he did. We're like, yeah, he did it, and he's probably going to run stuff once he gets to jail too.
God, I wish he was 10 years younger.
Yeah,
I mean, at 38, his athleticism is unreal.
So here's the thing, though, Pete. In his post-fight speech, Yoel Romero, after having earned some new fans, perhaps, and exciting the fans he already had a post-fight speech in which he prefaced by saying, I'm going to try to speak English. It's my second language, and I'm trying to learn this speech, or how to speak English. The first thing he says is, America, what happened to you? What happened to you? You forget, the greatest of all time. You forget Jesus. And
Who?
Yeah. So he's saying you forget Jesus, and you guys need to go return to Jesus, basically. And then he says what some people either interpret as no forgay Jesus or no forget Jesus. Which camp are you in? Because people got all up in arms saying that he was homophobic, that the whole speech was about the SCOTUS's decision to legalize gay marriage.
Listen, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that it was no forget Jesus, because that makes sense for what he was saying before. However, in the post-fight press conference, he didn't just come out and say that. He didn't just come out and say, no, I said no forget Jesus. I didn't say no forgay Jesus. So it's tough. It's tough. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Because, listen, even if you thought that was, oh man, that Supreme Court ruling, that was like horrible. Most people are smart enough, certainly a 38-year-old who's not, I mean, he's dealt with international politics. He left Cuba, you know, he fought in the Olympics. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because I want to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, one thing, one person, which is...
And also, I don't even know what gay Jesus is, by the way. Is that like a
gay Jesus, I'll show you who gay Jesus is. Gay Jesus is CM Punk. I love this. He's actually a real cool guy. He tweeted this, I may in fact be gay Jesus, which is great. You know, I too think he said no forget Jesus.
Right.
I do think that's what he said. Now, is he for gay marriage? Probably not. I don't think he is, but I do believe he said no forget Jesus. And Lord only knows what I've said in Portuguese while I've been learning, and I apologize sincerely, desculpe, for anything that I have said.
Insulted a few people.
Totally, and I really am sorry. Here's what he did say afterwards. So in the press conference, he said, first of all, I would like to apologize. There was a misunderstanding. First of all, I'm a man of God, you know, because he's a soldier of God, and God is love. My expressions are always going to be about love. What I was trying to say was, look for the American dream. I didn't really hear sueños or anything in that mix, but whatever. On the subject of gay marriage, apparently he was asked, he says, God told Mary Magdalene, you're a prostitute, go and don't sin anymore, and he told her with love. Who am I to judge anybody? Even though I didn't refer to that, even though there was a misunderstanding, I will tell you guys something. God made man to be free. Anybody can do whatever they want. I wouldn't be the type of person to critique anybody. I've got to look at myself first, be a better person. To be able to love people, I didn't refer to anybody. What I was trying to say was, United States, thank you for giving me the American dream. There's no better country than this one because it is blessed by God. It is in the dollars that this country was made by Christian people. That means it's blessed by God. That's his explanation.
Okay. I might have to reverse.
You think?
Well, listen, as soon as you start saying, Mary Magdalene, you're a prostitute, go and don't sin anymore, it certainly seems like you're defending what you'd said about sinning. Like, listen, if I
But
say...
he didn't say man shouldn't lay with man. Nowhere did he bring anything up that was about...
Okay, if I say go for Jesus, no forget...
We gotta go for Jesus. Go for Jesus. You know, that's all I could think of, too. I'm sorry. We're go for Jesus. We're clear. Go for Jesus. That's all I could think about.
And somewhere up there, gay Jesus is like, me? No, not you, gay Jesus. Sorry. It's never me.
I'm always the bridesmaid.
But listen, like, if you...
Sorry. I'm so sorry if we're offending anybody, really. I really am. But you got to have a little fun with this.
Like, why is he even talking about sin? So, listen, if you meant to say, no, forget Jesus, you would just come out and say, listen, misunderstanding, I said don't forget Jesus, but the fact that he starts going like, hey, sin, but don't do sin anymore, but God said it with love, you know, so now he's defending a comment that he made against sin, so now, now I'm starting to think
then
that
in the who am I to judge line. But then again, I think the who am I to judge line is him saying, It is what it is. That it wasn't what I was talking about, but even if it were, I'm not judging you. Even though he said, again, I think he said no forget Jesus.
Okay. Here's what the one thing that we do know. Whoever's been teaching him English needs to look for a new job, because who's like this? Okay, because first of all, he said, what I was saying to the United States was, thank you for giving me the American dream.
We're in round 3 now, Pete.
So Yoel, I want you to say thank you for giving me the American dream. Right. Okay, what happened to you? Wake up, USA. Good enough, Yoel. Now I want you to say there's no better country because it is blessed by God. Go for Jesus. Okay, all right. You see, I just don't think the guy...
All right, well, let's move on. There were some other nice moments from the weekend, from some fight action. What?
He's also from Cuba. Cuba's stuck in the 50s where gay men happy. He could have been that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the old lady across the street said to me, oh, you look very gay, and I was wearing a colored shirt and,
Assless chaps.
Yeah. And then I said, oh, thank you. You must be talking about your shirt. She said, no, I mean, you look like a cocksucker. And I was like, what? So that was a little bit unusual. So, but besides her, he could have done that. Okay, round 3.
So yes, on the prelims, Tony
By the way,
Sims-
there's nothing wrong with being gay.
Tony Sims, but assless chaps. There is a problem.
Yeah, but actually, I mean, that's just like, I mean,
That's
even
tacky.
heterosexuals were bad stuff.
It's just tacky. It's just tacky. Tony Sims took out Steve the Creepy Weasel Montgomery. Poor Steve. He had a seizure on The Ultimate Fighter and was taken off the show. Got an opportunity to fight. Looked like he was doing well. Landed something and then got knocked out. But the co-main event, Lorenz Larkin, he and Santiago Ponzinibbio got fight of the night for their battle, which was really nice. And they stepped up to the challenge. You know, they were elevated to a co-main event and did quite well with this. And Lorenz Larkin got the win at 3 minutes and 7 seconds of the second round. So landed 71 strikes of 122, so 59% for the Monsoon. This was his second fight at welterweight. So I'm happy to be there. You know, he was always small for a middleweight. I think he looks good at welterweight. Also on the card, Shoeface. That's my favorite. Shoeface is following me now.
His face looks like nothing like a shoe.
I don't know. It's my favorite nickname, and Chael and I used to have a lot of fun with it on UFC Tonight because Chael, you know, did Tough Brazil with him, and Shoeface is, I guess, a lovely guy. But I'm sorry, it's the greatest nickname in the world.
Now, what do you think of Creepy Weasel?
Also good. But Shoeface is funny and fun to say, and so now we're following each other on the Twitter machine. So good for him. He tapped out Eddie Gordon at 4 minutes and 37 seconds of the third round. So that is the 5th latest stoppage in middleweight history.
By the way, he is a big middleweight.
Big dude. Right. Well, he won the show at heavyweight, dropped to light heavyweight, fought Patrick Cummins, your brother from another mother, Durkin. Got pretty much owned by Durkin because Durkin's a great wrestler. Right, so Antonio just didn't have what it took for that elevated wrestling. It wasn't maybe even so much the size difference, but down at middleweight, he could make some good things happen.
He looked good. I still don't get why he's tagged with a nickname Shoeface. What's that?
Cara de Sapato. That's in Portuguese. Anyway. There was also a big knockout in Bellator.
By the way,
What?
I hate having to sit through the interviews with Portuguese fighters.
How come?
Because one, you got to listen to the question.
Right, in the translation.
You got to listen to the question, and then they say it. You got to listen to it again, and then you hear the translation, and then it's usually something like,
Alex.
What did you do to prepare for the fight? I trained really hard, and I want to thank everyone on my team. You're like, I just sat through 42 seconds of Portuguese to give that.
Yeah, the other day.
Come on, give me an answer. Give me something good if I'm going to sit through this back and forth Portuguese. Alex
Davis did. He's a lovely guy and a manager for a lot of fighters. He did abbreviate some things, unfortunately. But I feel like sometimes the translator, like Alex is not usually the guy on the job. Usually it's Derek. So I think sometimes
it was nice of him to dress up for it, though.
Sometimes I think the person, if it's not Derek or the other guy, Edward, I think is his name, down in Brazil, and also Trevor does a good job. But I think sometimes they're panicked. They're like, oh no, I'm here, I got to do this. Right. And then maybe they didn't hear everything or whatever. Then maybe, whatever. But I hear what you're saying on that. So did you see this knockout over in Bellator? Joe Schilling, who's a great kickboxer, also does MMA. So here's Joe. Hands were a little low. So this guy, Kato, comes in here. Bam! Just lays him out, right? So here we go in slow-mo. It's the kind of Superman left-hand punch. Joe's like out before he hits the ground. That was pretty brutal. Now, I'm curious what you guys think. If that one was better than Thiago Marreta Santos's starching of Steve Bossé.
That gets my vote.
See, I think the Marreta one is better too. End of round 3, as you see him. What we were talking about at Fox the other day, what was tricky, Marreta did 8 years of capoeira, right? So the guy's got all this, fluidity of movement and everything. But the way they were saying when he throws his kicks, when he was going low and when he was going high, his hips kind of looked the same, so that they were maybe hard to read. Thing is, this is Bossé's debut. He was going to fill in for Rampage when Rampage was having some issues. He was going to fight Maldonado at light heavyweight. That fell through. He's been waiting to debut for a long time, and he actually quit before the Rampage thing came up. Then he got back into it, and then now he dropped down to middleweight. But anyway, he trained with Patrick Cote some. So I was texting with Patrick, and I asked him, "Oh, is he any good? Does he even have a ground game?" He's like, "No, he's a stand-up guy. He used to be a hockey player, like kind of an enforcer, they call him." But anyway, Patrick was telling me afterwards, like, yeah, he's probably just gonna not fight again now since that didn't go well for him.
Well, you could hear it. Yeah, that sounded like a baseball bat.
Yeah, it was not good. So round 4, Pete. Last week, everybody pretty much freaked out at the possibility that Jose Aldo would not be fighting Conor McGregor at UFC 189. So.
Pretty scary.
Pretty scary. Like, we all freaked out. Everybody freaked out because our friend Anahisa had put out this tweet that he had a broken rib, and it was confirmed that he had a broken rib. This is Tuesday. Then we were talking about on UFC Tonight. Things are fluid. Then they find out that Jose just has a bone bruise. Is he in the fight? Is he not in the fight? Dana's tweeting to everybody, relax. So he's not out of the fight, Jose. But Chad Money Mendez is now on standby. Okay, this is the whole thing. This fight has to happen. Like, I personally thought if Jose couldn't fight, I personally would have preferred it to be postponed because I just want to see this fight. But everybody's like, "Oh, what about all the Irish fans coming over?" I'm like, well, that's not the question. You didn't ask me how do I feel for all the Irish fans coming over. You asked me what would I want to see. But Jose might fight.
You're historically cold toward Irish fight fans.
Wrong. Couldn't be more wrong.
You historically don't give a damn about the Irish fight.
Couldn't be more wrong. I've been to
fan.
Ireland, absolutely loved the country, and can't wait till I get to go back sometime.
Listen, here's the thing, is now there's somewhat of an asterisk.
Right.
There's somewhat of an asterisk, which sucks. None of us want
if Jose beats him, I mean, if Conor beats him, it's like, well, the champ was hurt.
Yeah, what would have happened if the champ hadn't been hurt? I'll tell you, though, and I think Brian Stan actually made the point. It's like this sets up. I mean, of course, Jose is going to get in there if he can, because one, it's kind of a win-win for him. If he loses, he fought with
and he'll probably get an immediate rematch.
Yeah, he'll probably get an immediate rematch, which will again be a huge payday. So, listen, he's going to get in there. It behooves him to get in there. And listen, I think Conor's awesome. Conor's like, you know what? Give me anybody.
Right.
Give me anybody. So, but yeah, it sucks. It kind of sucks.
And Conor says he shouldn't worry about his ribs. I'm going to be aiming for his chin.
That's good.
Here's the thing. I talked to Rashad Evans, former UFC light heavyweight champion, about this because that's the whole thing with rib injuries. You're like, come on, suck it up. How bad is it? So let's listen into what Rashad has to say about how bad a rib injury really can be and how it can affect you in a fight and preparing for a fight. So, Sugar, I have a question for you. Obviously, we know Jose Aldo has a hurt rib, a bone bruise. How bad is it? How hard is it to fight with a rib like that?
Before I fought Phil Davis, a week before the fight, I broke 3 ribs, fractured 3 ribs, and it was very difficult. Like, I couldn't even sit up the next day. Any kind of movement that had my core, which is probably every movement, was almost impossible. And then I was able to get some anti-inflammatory cream and a little bit of Toradol in it, and that actually took down the inflammation and helped out a lot. But during the fight, I still felt it. Like, I got kicked in the side in the fight, and I just almost just stopped in pain. It was just so painful. But a rib injury is very hard to fight through.
Well, the other problem too is that even if you can kind of suck it up, you got to cut weight, right? So let's say you want to go running, let's say whatever you want to do, that could still bother you as well.
Everything, you'll be surprised once you hurt your rib how much you actually use your core. Use it for everything you do, and when you hurt your rib, everything around that whole area is all tender. So, if he doesn't fight because of the rib injury, then I understand why, because that shit hurts.
Yeah, that's the first. So that's the thing. It just affects everything. So Jose never has a good time trying to get down to 145 pounds. Right. So that to me is almost even a bigger concern. Okay, fine, don't spar. The dude is amazing. It's not like he needs to spar right now or whatever. But even just so is it like, is he going to aggressively have to change the diet part now to be able to go in lighter? Because what can he do to cut weight? Just think about when you run or whatever. That hurt. Right, that would hurt. He can't wrestle practice. He can't this and that. Oh man, I'm so bummed. I'm so bummed.
Well, I've actually broken 2 ribs before, and I could say that I'm certainly not as tough as
That Sugar. Because Sugar went in and dominated
if you interviewed me, I'd be like this. There's no way I can fight Karyn. There's no way.
Yeah, he dominated Phil Davis in that fight. I mean, so Rashad, we knew this. Clearly tougher than you are.
I don't think anyone's like, breaking news story. Rashad Evans tougher than Pete Cummins. Well, how about Babasi, who we were just talking about?
Yeah.
He's going to have to watch that clip over and over and over. His kids are going to see it. His great-grandkids are going to be doing that tree
right.
where you find out, your ancestry. And
right.
like, here's great-great-grand, and that clip is still around.
KTFO'd. Well, plus the other thing is people are making, I'm sure, all these GIFs because the way he fell, the position his hands are in, somebody was like, he's playing trumpet or he's doing something. So this poor dude, there's going to be like every single thing in the world about what he could have possibly been doing as he went down. Gotta keep your hands up, folks.
All right, here's who else I feel a little bit bad for. Anyone from Hollywood, Florida. Because every time somebody goes, so where are you from? I'm from Hollywood.
Hey!
Florida. Oh, because that was like, the UFC coming to you live from Hollywood, Florida. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it was our summer showdown in the Sunshine State. I had to say that on the air. That was hard.
Summer showdown from the Sunshine State.
Yeah.
Or it's like, I played football for the University of Miami of Ohio.
Okay. We're in round 5, Pete. High five.
Round 5. Okay, so listen. I got a little upset at my kids this week after the Aldo McGregor fight may or may not happen, and so I was a little short-tempered. And so I also learned how to do a little whiteboard animation on the computer. So I tried to put something together to explain to my kids why their dad might have been somewhat more of an a-hole than usual.
Okay.
A big gaping a-hole.
Yes, all right, right. So, gaping a-hole? No. Getting back to the...
What?
You forget. Never mind.
Gaping. G-A-P-I-N-G. It means large.
I know it does, yes.
Okay, see you
vast, wide open.
See,
yes.
you were visual.
Never mind, just go.
So you were actually visualing the a-hole, and then you went with gaping, and you were actually okay. Okay, Karyn, perhaps. I'm just gonna. Okay, listen. I was kind of a jerk this week at one point to my kids, and so I thought they should understand why their dad was a jerk. So I put this together. And so I'm going to show it to you in the computer, and Wade, by magic of technology, will then cut to it.
Okay, great.
Okay. An apology to my 2 sons. Dear kids, you know how your dad likes to go out to a tavern and hang out with his friends and drink a beer, or 2, or 3, or 4. Okay, stop keeping track of it. Anyway, I like to watch 2 really tough guys fight on multiple TV screens while I sit my ass on a bar stool and yell out inappropriate things. Well, one fight I really wanted to see this Tuesday, I found out might not happen, and that made your dad angry, pretty much all week. I mean, imagine learning that Santa Claus had fractured his rib and Christmas might not happen this year. And instead of Santa Claus, they were going to have a guy named Chad Mendez bring you your gifts. I mean, nothing against Chad, but even with his festive earrings, he doesn't exactly scream Christmas. So as a result, I got angry at you and probably said a few things I shouldn't have. And then your mom, well, she got angry at me and started to reconsider her marriage options. And our bed got very little use this weekend, if you know what I mean. I mean, she ignored me worse than the UFC's been ignoring Robbie Lawler and Rory McDonald. There they are, they're 2 fighters and actually fighting for a championship on July 11th, although you wouldn't know it. But then there was an historic decision. I'm not talking about this decision, that was very good though. But fractured ribs plus a lot of money spent equals healed ribs. And the fight is on. So sorry about getting mad, kids, and please talk to your mom because Daddy needs a little ass this weekend.
All right, very nice, Pete. That's good.
I don't want to say that DreamWorks might have a little competition or anything, but so that's.
Were you really surly?
What's that?
You were pretty surly.
come on,
I
man,
know,
for like
dude.
months, and then I wasn't continually surly, but I might have just snapped at one point,
Right.
and then I was like, well, that was kind of, I was kind of gaping at that point, and
Well, the thing that's tricky about this too is that our friend, like I said, Anna H.E.A.T is the one who broke the news, and so I'm sitting there thinking, okay, this is a tough spot for Anna because you have to report the news. She,
Right.
she actually used to train at Novo Now when she lives in Vegas now. But she knows all those guys really, really well. She's really tight with that team, and it's like their sister. I mean, so I'm sure for part of her, it's like, okay, well, it's my job, and I can break this story, and I need to let everybody know. But I'm sure it was probably hurting her
Right.
to be the one to put that out, like the worst possible news you could put out that week or whatever, and so I'll have to see her. I'll see her out when in fight week. But it was a tough spot to be in, and thank goodness. I just really hope that he makes it through, and that we get a real fight, and the fight that we've been waiting for and hoping for, and the one that it could be, because Jose's so good and Conor's so good that it's.
First of all, I didn't realize that Jose was only 28 years old.
Dude.
I mean, I thought he was in his mid-30s.
No, he's just a wrecking machine who has been that way for a long time, and it's like.
Well, and here's the thing, too, is Conor needs this fight to happen, too, because while Conor's promotional stuff is awesome, just once. Can you imagine, if this fight got, delayed till, November, and then in, September we had to hear again, all right, I will come to you, and I will rape your village folks, because I'm Conor McGregor. You'd be like, no, okay, you gotta stop.
Yeah, you can't do it twice.
Can't do it twice.
And they spent a lot of money on it, so I really hope it happens. But meanwhile, there's still going to be a Robbie Lawler, Rory McDonald rematch on that card, which is going to be fantastic.
Those guys had to feel like the redheaded stepchild. Yeah. They're like, what the hell? I mean, that's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I have a feeling, why I love Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler don't give about most things. Just tell him where to show up.
Right.
Tell him, gonna work hard, great guy, doesn't let himself get caught up in other things. But they want that fight to happen because you want the eyeballs. Who knows what kind of pay-per-view deals they get? And when if you're on any card with Conor, you want Conor to fight that night,
right?
Regardless, whatever. So, and I guess the interesting thing too, I know we're got to wrap up the round, but against Jose, Conor's a betting favorite now, or a slight favorite against Chad Mendes, though, the underdog. So it's interesting, the lines, and if you've got a betting card from before this happened, I don't know, people can talk about how that changes and all this stuff because yours could be worth more or less depending on what you picked.
I mean, I got to think if you put money on Conor before the rib injury, you're looking pretty good. I mean, you just, because the odds have to be shifting a bit.
Well, yeah, I don't know what it was before. I think it was pretty close before, but now it's different.
Right.
So we'll get that. Next time I'll actually look that up. Well, it just kind of came to me now at the top of my head. I'll prepare for the podcast next week.
Yeah, a little effort would be nice. I mean, you seem to put a lot of effort in on Fox, and then you just sort of show up here and mail it in.
I wore a smaller shirt today, Pete. Does that count for anything?
Did you do an animation for the show, Karyn? Did you work over the weekend to the long hours of the night?
I actually did work over the weekend at Fox
for the podcast.
Friday and Saturday.
For the podcast?
All this knowledge.
Oh, I can do that too. I can do that too.
Listen, here's what we need to. Listen.
Okay, let's get started.
We should. We do need to let go. Let people know, rather, not let go. We let go of round 5 already. That's done. Let people know what's happening in the future. High five.
There's going to be spaceships in. Oh, sorry, in the near future. Sorry. We could have a monorail connecting.
Right.
No podcast next week.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's 4th of July weekend. We feel like everybody needs to, just kind of relax there and chill out a little. And also, Wade's traveling. Let's be honest.
Right. Because they're all like, what do you mean, relax and chill?
No.
We just press a button and you guys talk.
Our technical support.
It's actually Wade's fault.
It's Wade's fault. It's blame Wade. Hashtag.
Karyn and I would love to do one for you, 4th of July. I was already working on this, whole narrative film with fade outs and stuff. So
right.
But Wade screwed it.
Wade screwed it up. At any rate, we'll take that week. We'll take that week off, and then we'll do one before we leave for fight week. Okay, so that'll be on the 6th or whatever. We'll do. Oh no, that is before we leave for fight week.
It'd be right after fight week.
Right after fight week is what I meant to say. Yes, gosh, it's coming up. I thought I had an extra week in there.
The professionalism.
The professionalism. Yeah. Busy month, July, fight-wise. At any rate, yes, we'll do it on Monday when we come back from fight week. But you will be in the Vineyard.
I will be on Martha's Vineyard.
With the Kennedys.
With a cocktail, having played some lawn bowling, Karyn. Are you familiar with lawn bowling?
Is it bocce?
It's like your type of bowling, but it's on a lawn overlooking the ocean.
My type.
Yes, with inside sweaty, loud pins. People named Stan with shirts that have an S on it. Yes, your type of bowling.
My type of low-class bowling.
Yes, but our lawn bowling is done with a drink, and I don't even know what lawn.
It's bocce. You gotta get it next to the little.
But I'll be on Martha's Vineyard, so and then I'll be in Maine the week after.
Wow.
Yes.
All the white guy hotspots. I'm actually from Massachusetts. I go to those
I will be in White Village, Maine, at White Junction on the corner of White Street and Caucasian Avenue.
No, Maine is lovely. If you're going up to Bar Harbor or something, it's pretty up there.
Not to Bar Harbor, Rockland.
Oh, okay, Rockland. Very nice, very nice. Heads up, Rockland! You should see if you can make an appearance, make some money at the local bar.
Be like, what, in Rockland?
Yeah.
I'm huge in Rockland.
So anyway, what we'll do too, since you'll be out of town, we'll still deliver a podcast. The format will be a little different, and since it's after fight week, maybe I think what we should just do is just do an hour. You know what I mean? You'll be there, but we can get together on Skype or whatever, because there's certainly going to be a lot to talk about. So we'll do something for you guys when we come back from Vegas, and we'll have UFC 189 to talk about, the Ultimate Fighter finale to talk about, all the stuff that we get out of fight week. Because this is the thing is, right after Conor and Jose, hopefully fight, we have Ellenberger and Stephen Thompson fighting on the finale card, and then also this is going to be fun. Jorge Masvidal versus Cesar Ferreira. We're talking. This will be the Ultimate Fighter thing. So Michelle Watterson, the Karate Hottie, is going to come in against Magana from the Ultimate Fighter. So it should be fun. There's going to be some fun stuff to talk about. What?
The Karate Hottie.
The Karate Hottie.
That's
she's
great.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, your new favorite, right? You got Joanna, champion. Karate Hottie.
Well, Joanna, I like just because she's a badass.
Totally.
I mean, men, women, Martians. Joanna's a badass.
Yeah, so that'll be good. So in terms of this week, coming up, like you said, no fights. Next week, we actually are going to do UFC Tonight. This week's show is a half-year review for 2015. So we're going to look at some of the biggest stories of 2015. We're going to have Matt Hughes on and BJ Penn for an interview. That's rare, so you guys definitely want to see it this week. And then the one after, we're going to do UFC Tonight from Fight Week, so that'll be fun.
Cool.
So when you guys, usually we do it, last year we did it in front of an audience. So if you come, just come and cheer for us and come say hey at the show. It's fun. It's fun to do it with the people.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll of course be lawn bowling with a very select group of people.
I will ask one thing, and I love taking pictures of people and stuff like that. It's really fun. Wade will hurt you. Okay. There's an acceptable place for your hand on my back, and then there starts to be a no-go zone, a no for Jesus zone down here. And Wade, I'm just letting you know.
Even gay Jesus, even if he's pretending to be gay Jesus.
And we're together. There's a no-go zone there. So to keep the hands high and in a respectable place.
So what? You mean
I'm
when
saying
people are
sometimes when people
posing,
put their arms
photos.
around you,
which
is fine. Don't go all the way for the titty reach around on the side, and keep it respectably up higher on my back.
I am far more lenient, so if you want to take a picture with me, you can do a titty reach around, and I even allow a slight little small of the back, fingers creeping down, so.
Nice.
I'm just saying, you know? Yeah, you got to break in somehow, Karyn, and I do it by being really lenient where people touch me.
Nice. Nice.
What am I going to do when my kids watch some of these podcasts one day?
No, I really don't know.
Wade was saying our kids' new thing is, are you stupid or are you high?
Oh, no.
And I'm like, no.
It's the high old guy.
And you know they're going to, like, discover it. I mean, I bet, like, you know, at school.
Not at our house, they won't.
Yeah, you know, and they're going to be like, wait a minute. This is what Dad does?
That's totally high.
Wow, I had little respect for Dad to begin with, but now I'm even going to have less respect for him.
You better get that college diploma framed and hang it on the wall in a place that they can all see, Pete, because that might be it. Where can people, hey, how many tweets since last week?
One tweet. One juicy,
you broke the internet, Pete.
Juicy tweet.
I didn't even see it. You know that not everybody sees the one tweet from on high that comes down. Get it?
The one tweet. I took a tweet of, I was in Starbucks and they had Frappuccino sugar cookies. Yeah, pretty disgusting. And all I want to say is if you go to Starbucks and go, I don't feel like a Frappuccino, but I want a cookie, but I want it to look like a Frappuccino. And just in case I wasn't sure that a Frappuccino cookie was bad for me, could you put the word sugar in there so I just know how much shit I am injecting into me?
For the low price of $4.99,
yes,
probably,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Look at that. There's actually a Frappuccino.
$2.25, actually.
$2.20. But, like, who? Like,
that's stupid.
So I just said if you buy a Frappuccino sugar cookie, you've got a problem. I don't know what the problem is, but it's there, and it's an ugly problem. We have to figure that out. So that's my one tweet.
And I'm sorry, but 350 calories in one cookie, that's crazy to eat that.
But just also like, oh cool, it looks like a Frappuccino. Like, that's great if you're like in, no offense to our Romanian fan, but like if you're in like Romania and you haven't seen a Starbucks in years,
right.
and then you're like, oh look, it's a cookie like a Frappuccino. But you're in friggin' Starbucks. There's a Frappuccino that looks like a Frappuccino. You should get a cookie that looks like a cookie. And it doesn't, look at that, I think it's horrible. And so I gave you Frappuccino, then a cookie, then Frappuccino.
Oh my God,
So anyway, that's my one tweet. So basically gay marriage was where basically all these walls came crumbling down of oppression all week. My journalistic integrity led me to now attack the Frappuccino sugar cookie. And I'm bringing it to the Supreme Court. I want it.
Heads up, SCOTUS.
Fantastic week, though, by the way.
Nice, yes. Good stuff happened. Got a lot of happy friends.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure. So, Pete, if they want that one tweet a week, where should they go?
Whoa, I didn't say I was going to do it next week. It's 4th of July week, Karyn. Listen, I can guarantee you at least a tweet a month. And while I can't guarantee you it'll be funny, I can guarantee you that you'll read and go, huh. Mind nuggie. All right, folks. I'm actually going to come in with. I'm going to work up a graphic of like my tweet ratio, like you know how we do significant strikes landed and stuff like that. There you go. Like look at all this preparation I did. A friggin' animation, Karyn.
That was good. I said that was good.
An animation.
That was good.
Look at all this stuff I did, though.
Karyn Bryant on Twitter, KarynBryant. On Instagram, KB H.E.A.T. On YouTube, look for us on YouTube/Karyn Bryant and YouTube/MMA Heat. That's where we'll be putting up all our stuff from Fight Week, and we come up with like an incredible amount of stuff. So we'll be there from everything from UFC 189 workouts and all that stuff. So it's going to be good. That's about it for now. I believe. Oh, I want to give my congratulations to.
Here's all my prep.
Oh yeah, right. You wish.
First, Wade has to go through the camera manual,
yes. I want to congratulate my buddy H.E.A.T, Congo. The Darkness also was victorious over this weekend. I didn't get to mention it before in round 3, but he came out and basically just owned Volkov like the whole time.
So wait, it was the Darkness versus Volkov.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Harry Potter.
It does. It does.
Dark.
But there's our buddy H.E.A.T, Big John holding his hands, and the cool thing is we were talking about Romero being older. H.E.A.T is up there. I believe he's also 38, may even be 39 now or whatever. But trained with our friend Justin Fortune, who's Manny Pacquiao's strength and conditioning coach, and which is funny because it was all ground, and Justin's a boxing guy as well. But it was just nice for H.E.A.T to get him win in there, and he just dominated the guy the whole time. So we always have to give it up to our buddy the Darkness.
Very cool.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. All right, folks. Well, thanks for watching. If you want to listen to the audio version of the podcast, you can go to MMAHeat.com/podcast, and we have links for iTunes and Stitcher there. So please check it out and let your friends know. And again, just anytime you guys want to comment, because we actually do look back. You do comment to people. Even though you don't tweet, you will comment.
I do.
So
I do comment, and I've been appreciating the comments.
Yes.
For the most part.
Yes.
There's still like what a dumbass. Somebody came to my defense though in the comments.
You got a white knight?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Somebody was like, I don't like. This guy Pete's an idiot, and then somebody else, was like, no, go fuck off,
Nice.
And I was like, all right. So thank you, White
The
Knight.
kid's got an account.
If I had it.
Awesome. Thanks,
My
you
son's
guys.
defending me.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I will see you next time.